Hi, it's Wayne from howtofish.com.au and I am happy. It's the first day that we've been able to get out beyond that 5k limit from our houses, and I'm at the Maribyrnong River. It's early morning, it's probably about 6:45 right now. It's the top of the tide. There's no wind at all. The water's pretty glassy, so that's nice. And I'm here to catch whatever I can. It will be great. So let's have a look. Well, first fish. Feels good. Not a big fish, I just don't care. Okay. Little brim. This is great. The rig that I'm using today, I'm using two different size hooks and lines and everything. So this is the lighter rod. This is my Bass Red fishing rod, and I'm using the lighter top section on this, which allows you to go with lighter lines. So I've got 4 kilo line. Actually, it's not. It's 3 kilo line on this, so it's quite fine. I'm using a running burley cage. Okay, that's working as my sinker, and I put burley in that, and that carries it out to the spot near my hook and attracts the fish in. Then I'm using, actually with this today, it's my survival pack, which means that I've tied on an ultra fine pre-stretched trace to this, so it's lighter than my main line, because if the fishing's really hard today, then the fish are not going to notice anything attached to their bait. The line is so light that will move around naturally in the water, won't spook the fish. On the end of that, I've got a size 14 hook, and I've been using maggots on that little tiny hook, and that's what caught that brim just now. Now on my heavier rod, I've got the heavier top section on. I've got 6 kilo line on, so much heavier line. I've got the same running burley cage arrangement down to a line stop. Then what I've done is I've tied on a fluorocarbon leader, because I was just thinking if it got bright today and the water was clear, then maybe the fish would see things, so I wanted to make that invisible, down to a size 6 hook. And then on that I'm using things like worms, prawns, chicken, different baits, but larger baits, so that I might have a chance of getting a bigger fish. Well, some things haven't changed. These starfish are still about. And remember, these are an introduced species. They came in the ballast of Japanese cargo ships, so you're not to return these to the water. This is the southern sea star. Well, just got another one. Okay, second small brim. Okay, on the maggots. So the survival gear, my survival pack, is really working today on the small brim at least. Now, just one tip: I only mix about half of my bite hard burley at a time. So in a session I'll mix half up. I can take half back, because half a bag will do me for about a 2-hour session, maybe a bit more. Also, I keep some on reserve in case I mix my burley too wet. I can add a little bit of dry burley to make it a bit more fluffy, because if it sticks into your burley cage when you wind in, you'll know that you've either packed it in too hard or you've made it a bit damp, and therefore it's very sticky. But that goes for 2 hours. These things here therefore will last me about 4 hours in a longer session, and that's what's been getting those fish in today, my bite hard burley. Okay, well, a third one coming in. Burley's really bringing them in now. Wow, another small one. I must have a school out there, I think, that I've attracted in. This one just did a runner on me. There'll be another small one, but this has been so Good. Yeah, little fella. Now, people might say, well, you know, they're only small fish, and that's true, they are. But it's great fun. I mean, in these waters here, there's going to be more small fish than anything else. But getting out and catching fish and having a bit of fun, it's just great. So I don't mind if they're small. I've got the bigger rod set up with a bigger hook, a piece of prawn on at the moment. And honestly, I've only had little hits on that. But with the smaller rod, I've been casting out more frequently, more burley going in there, therefore I'm getting more bites. And clearly I've brought some into the area. Some fish are hanging around now because there's enough burley to keep them interested. And every time I cast out, I cast at the same spot. And the burley doesn't have much food in it, but my bait does. So when they're looking around for pieces of food, they smelt the burley, the bait's what they find. Okay, this time the bigger rod went. So I've got something bigger here. I'd say it'd be a brim, but a better size one. I'd change the... Whoa. Yeah, that's getting a bit bigger. That's not bad. Good fish. Ooh. Okay, looks like I'm into another one. This one picked up really quickly. Okay, well look, they're not huge fish, but on this light line they fight really well, so it's great fun. Just starting to get little taps again on this rod here. Oops. Oh dear. This one took off real fast. These be the same small. I must have a whole school there. Yep. Like peas in a pod. If you get your burley working and you're casting in frequently enough, you'll build up the area so the fish will come in. So I've been getting those fish successively, very quickly, just simply because there's something there attracting them from all the water around here. Otherwise, you can imagine I've got one little tiny bait in all of that water, so it must take the fish a long time to find it. But with the scents and all of the smells from my burley going in there, it's drawing everything in. So it's like smelling a barbecue. You can smell it from a long way off, and that's exactly what's happening here. The fish are smelling and then being drawn in. This one nearly pulled my rod in, but I'm sure it's only the same size as the others. Maybe a little bit bigger. It might be a bit bigger. Got to be careful on this light line. Whoa. at that. Ouch. That is a better fish on that size 14 hook. Not bad, hey? Beautiful. So that was caught on that size 14 hook, okay? Pre-stretched line, very fine line on my survival pack. Small hooks can catch good fish. These are very positive bites. I haven't had to strike into any of these fish. They just take the bait and run. Let's see what we've got here. So, another reasonable size. I've been using a marker on the other side as my target that I cast to. It's to the right of that, to that black pole over there, just slightly to the right. It's a tree. I've been casting every time. When I'm really accurate and cast and land just about on top of that target, I get a fish almost immediately. If I'm out of that target range, if I miss it by much, it takes longer to get a bite. So that accuracy of casting is really worthwhile. But that's what's been bringing those fish in, is just the accuracy and getting the burley in that spot. I had to hold the rod for this one. I was getting such small bites. But yeah, so it's not a big one. Wow, little fella. Wow, this one, this will be a small one. Bit unexpected. I was just reeling in. Wow, not as small as I thought. Okay, that's not bad. Must have picked up the bait just as I was reeling in. Okay, another little one, I think. I'm sort of having to hold the rod at times now because the bites are quite small, but the fish still fight okay. Yeah, little one. There's a bit of flow in the water this morning, so I started off on my 40-gram burley cages, but they were just being pushed along because of the current. With all the rain and the tide going out at the same time, there's quite a bit of water in there, quite a bit of flow. So I've gone up to the 60-gram burley cage. That's holding bottom nicely, keeping the burley in the same place. That's why I've been hooking the fish. Okay. Ooh. This one's got a little bit of fight in it. Whoa. Yeah, actually, might be a little bit bigger than the others. And it's on the light line too. Okay, this is feeling pretty good. Well, it's not that big, it's just fat. But boy, did it put up a great fight. That's the one thing about these brim, they really can fight. Well, I've had an absolute ball today, getting out, getting some fish, getting a good one. Oh, that was just sensational. It is great that we can now travel. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you're interested in the burley, in the fishing gear, the techniques, go to my website, howtofish.com.au. I'll see you next time.